friends, family, people I work with, my clients, often ask me which are the bad cards, which are the worst cards that we do not want to come up in a reading, in a spread. So what I'm going to do is just quickly walk through which are the cards that people do not like and just give a little bit of advice. So the first card that everybody thinks of is the one I think of. If I think of the bad card, is the Tower. Now the Tower, not a nice card, is it? When you see it, it gives you a feeling, a shudder. The Tower is chaos, upheaval, a sudden change in physical or material circumstances, or a complete crashing down of energy, your attitude, your perception of reality. What you thought was true no longer seems true. Now, a positive reframe for this is, from me, is this is required for a spiritual awakening. If the Tower was built on shaky foundations, the only way to truly resolve that issue is to completely let it collapse, destroy it, and rebuild it on solid foundations: truth, wisdom, knowledge, real connection, honesty, authenticity. The Tower is like Mars energy. It's like a lightning bolt from the gods, from the sky, the divine, to completely shatter illusions. It is necessary to become a wise soul. If you want to become a wise soul, you must go through this period. You must destroy the Tower. Although unfortunately, the Tower is often destroyed when we're not ready and we don't choose it. Death doesn't mean literally dying, you or somebody else in your life. It's symbolic, like all of the tarot cards. It does mean that something is dying, and it does mean that you are at the end of a cycle. But it also means you will be free through rebirth, sacred rebirth. You must die to be reborn. We have this with baptisms in Christianity, and we have this in all sorts of ways in our spiritual history as humans, as souls. We need to die to be reborn. We need to let what no longer serves us fade, end, to clear space, and then through that space we can fill it with what we're meant to be doing. The devil. Now, the devil could represent somebody in your life, and that often is the case when I'm doing relationship readings, for example. However, if it comes up and it's about you and it's relative to your life, it definitely means unhealthy attachments. It may even mean addiction, bondage. However, it is a good card because it is an opportunity for you to reclaim your power, to free yourself from the things that you have been enslaving yourself with. It's a way to be confronted by the shackles that imprison you. And that doesn't mean physically, it means emotionally, mentally. The devil is a test of your discipline and truth from Saturn. The Ten of Swords may actually be one of the most painful cards. It is betrayal, rock bottom, and the end, a painful end. But the end is the key word. It is the end. It is the last kick in the teeth. It symbolizes that it's time to walk away. And by walking away, you walk towards a new dawn, towards something new that will invigorate you. It is the last illusion. It is ego death. And that is not a bad thing. The Nine of Swords is not a nice card. It is mental suffering, it is anxiety, it is insomnia. But it's also an invitation to healing. It's the revelation of hidden fears, hidden insecurities. So it is an invitation to healing. And it's also awareness that we magnify our own suffering through our mind. In an alchemical process, this would be the grado, the blackening. And that symbolizes the dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul precedes us for a spiritual awakening. Although I admit, I appreciate when you're in that moment, it does feel like there is no way out, no hope. But there is. You are clearing the way for something more authentic that comes next. So have faith, have hope. The Three of Swords is all about grief, sorrow, heartbreak. And although this is very painful, it does give you clarity. It does help you learn and practice resilience. And it does make you aware of what the lessons you need to learn. And this sorrow breaks open your heart, but it actually makes you more compassionate, hopefully towards yourself and definitely to other people, because you then become more empathetic and you begin to read the pain in other people. You feel them. So this heartbreak that we must all go through actually opens us up to other people to connect more deeply, intuitively, empathically, and it actually aligns us to the universal heart. It is a necessary stage in the development of the soul. Very painful, of course. The Five of Pentacles is about incoming or ongoing material, physical hardship. It's about poverty, it's about losing your job, it's about not having enough money to feed yourself and the kids, it's about not having enough money for the gas and electric. But what this does is it's like a slap in the face, it's like cold water being poured over you. It calls you, it beckons you to reassess your values. It teaches you patience and to develop and appreciate and be grateful for your inner wealth. What are the things you do have, even if you've not got any money right now, even if you're about to lose your money, even if you're really worried about money? Be grateful for what you have, your friends, your family. This card, the Five of Pentacles, actually, not only does it allow you to build your inner wealth and reassess your values, it encourages you to reach out to your loved ones, your inner circle, your community, and to be vulnerable with them, which of course deepens connection. Actually having no money, going through this hardship, it's like being in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. You don't have what you need. You don't have what you think you need. You don't have what you want or desire. But at the end of it, you're a very, very resilient, creative person who has faith in yourself and a reawakened faith, hopefully, in other people, because you're always surprised by the people that come out to help you in your time of need. Five of Cups, sadness, deep sadness, grief, heartbreak again. But this card shows us how to shift our focus towards blessings. It re-establishes an emotional maturity within us, and these spilled cups, these 3 spilled cups, are an initiation. 2 cups remain upright, showing us that our soul is still intact and that there is hope. And then the last one is the Hangman. The Hangman is probably the card that changed my own life, the card that comes up in my own personal readings for many years, throughout my teens, my 20s and my early 30s. The Hangman is enforced stillness. It is surrender. It is feeling like you're stuck. But this enforced stillness is how you learn. It is how you gain wisdom. It is the path to wisdom and enlightenment. And it is essentially the art of letting go, surrendering yourself to the higher power. Even when you want to do something, realizing that you do not control everything in this world. It is the harshest, toughest lesson possibly to learn, at least for me. But this is like Odin hanging from the tree. It is the path to enlightenment. It is the higher road. There are negative cards, but I don't believe there are wholly bad cards. Obviously these cards are more negative than some of the other cards in the tarot deck, and you would want to avoid them if you can to live through them in your life, but we all have to go through these challenges. And I actually don't see these as problems. I see these as challenges or opportunities, not just opportunities, invitations from the higher power, from the universe, from the cosmos, from our subconscious, our higher self, our guardian angel, whoever you want to call it. These are invitations to develop spiritual strength, to earn your wisdom, build your resilience. If you agree or disagree with any of these, I'd be interested to know. Reach out to me or write a comment below this video. I'd also be really interested to hear how you have reframed some of these cards in your own life. If you're interested in a reading, click on the link below, you can book one, or just email me if you have a question. Maybe you think I'm wrong about something. I'm always curious to hear how you think I'm wrong.